What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Grey Man Operations. So those of you who follow the channel will know over the years I have been and still am a huge advocate of firearm owners going out and getting firearm training. I believe that if you own and carry one of these, you should be extremely proficient with this. Now, a byproduct of that is a lot of people ask me about courses and whether or not they are able to do that course in terms of are they at the prerequisite skill level to where they can do that course. And this often comes when courses are intermediate or advanced rated by that particular instructor. So I'm very fortunate in that I've done many firearm courses ranging from super beginner stuff to really quite advanced things and everything in between. Not only that, I've sort of filmed Michelle's firearm journey, so I've seen her do beginner courses and sort of beginner to intermediate level courses and pretty much everything in between. And what I've discovered is that there are certain things that's done on all of these courses where people who are really beginners struggle. And so I've taken those little things and I've put them into like a 50-round call it course of fire, to where if you can do this, you are going to be able to go on an intermediate level course and actually learn. What's important to note is, guys, I'm not a firearms instructor. So whatever your instructor says is different to mine, please believe them over me. There's only my opinion. And also, if you can do these things, it does not make you an advanced level shooter or an intermediate level shooter. It just means you are at a level to where if you were to go and do an intermediate level course, you would actually be comfortable enough to focus on what the instructor's saying and learn from them as opposed to just trying to figure out what you must do with your hands next. Two things before we start. Guys, as you know, at the end of May, I'm giving away 2 of these Gear plate carriers to my patrons. Look how sleek this is. And there's 2 level 3 plates in here as we speak. I'm giving away 2 of these to my patrons. And then at the end of June, I'm giving away a Canik MC9 with red dot, with extended grip extension and mag, which I did a review on, and we'll try to get our hands on a light as well. So if you want to join on Patreon and get in on all of that, you can do so. If you're watching on YouTube, it's the first link down below. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, it's the first comment. Let's get into the parameters. So with this video, there are certain rules. One, everything is done on a single range, because I know a lot of you guys don't have the opportunity to go to shooting ranges where you can move around. 2, we're only going to be using 50 rounds because I know rounds are expensive. 3, only 1 target, and 4, we're never going to be shooting at more than 7 to 10 meters. So this kind of thing is pretty much accessible to everybody. And then also, guys, what's super important is you need to get yourself one of these. This is a shot timer. This thing, when you are training on your own, is invaluable, okay? There is really no point, excuse me, in doing any of these drills at a speed where you're like throwing your firearm, bringing it up, building your grip, presenting. You are basically just doing everything in slow motion. You probably aren't going to be learning anything, and the moment you must do it fast, you're going to fumble the crap out of it. The first drill is a draw and fire 2 shots. There's going to be no drill in this video where when the gun comes out of the holster, less than 1 shot is going to be fired. Now, the reason I like drawing, firing 2 shots and reholstering is because when you're at that beginner level, drawing the firearm from the holster, presenting outwards, getting that trigger control and trigger discipline, which is very important with firing 2 shots, and then managing the recoil, especially of that second shot, and reholstering, you're learning a lot. And you can do 5 full iterations of that with just 10 rounds. Now, if you are a bit better at this, you can, instead of drawing and firing 2 shots and reholstering, you can draw and fire 4. And then draw and fire 3 and draw and fire 3. That's going to be 10 rounds. Or you can draw and fire 2 at a time, come back to compress ready, press out again, draw and fire 2 at a time, and that sort of thing. You don't have to go back to the holster every time. but it's sort of based on your skill level. And remember that I'm assuming you are a beginner here. So I want you to get as many reps out of the holster as possible. The next is the famed 1 reload 1. So we're going to do 5 sets of that for another 10 rounds. So you've now fired 20 rounds. The 1 reload 1 simply because on pretty much every intermediate/advanced course you are going to be doing reloads. When you get to the higher level courses, they're going to start expecting you to top up your own firearm. And most of the time, it's going to be an emergency reload. So if the course of fire on an intermediate course is 10 rounds and you have 8 rounds, what I've discovered more often than not is the instructor expects you to drop that mag, reload, and fire that last 2 rounds. Okay, the 1 reload 1 gives you a draw stroke. It gives you a sight picture. It gives you you get to pull the trigger and break a shot. You get to then break your grip. It gives you a reload. You get to rebuild that grip from compress ready, and you get to present outwards and break another shot. So there's a lot that happens in a 1 reload 1, and I feel like if you can do a 1 reload 1 comfortably, most things are not going to be an issue for you. Now, if you are super comfortable with it, then do a 2 reload 2 or do a 3 reload 2, that kind of thing. Work it a bit so that it becomes difficult for yourself and you start failing. The important thing is to fail, guys. You have to do this so intensely that you get to a point of failure. And I'll show you my targets at the end of the video to show you what I'm talking about. But don't stroke your own ego and go 1, draw your firearm, 1, bang. Break your grip, reload, 1, bang. Do it fast, make it so that you are learning. After 1 reload 1s, or however you want to do it, draw and shoot 5 shots. 2 sets of this. Most intermediate to advanced courses, you're not going to be firing just 1 shot. In fact, very rarely do you fire just 1 shot. Drawing and firing 5 shots helps you build cadence. Cadence is basically, instead of going bang, 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 you go bang, 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 bang. Right? And what I would also say is if you find yourself being super accurate on your draw and firing 5, shoot faster. So 2 sets of drawing and firing 5. If you are at the point where your draw stroke is solid, draw and fire 10. Push the limits based on your own levels. After that, 5 shots with your left hand and 5 shots with your right hand. This is such an overlooked thing, but I'm seeing it more and more on courses where instructors are making the students shoot with 1 hand. There's 2 things that's very important here. 1, it's incredibly overlooked. And 2, those of you who don't run a weapon-mounted light, okay, go and do this so you can understand the value of running a weapon-mounted light. And that's where this timer comes in. Once you start shooting with 1 hand, you will start realizing, man, with 2 hands, I was doing 1.2s. Now with 1 hand, I'm getting my first shot off in like 2.4. Okay, it's more than double the time. And then lastly, your tactical or administrative reloads. 5 rounds, 5 sets of it, it's 2 shots, so it'll be 10 rounds. I'm just seeing this a lot more on courses. Like early days, people didn't do too much of this, but now, like even on some beginner courses, I'm seeing the instructors ask to do tactical or strategic or administrative reloads. That's basically where you're doing a reload, but you're not dropping the mag. You're stowing the mag after you're replacing it or replenishing it with a fresh mag. The only reason I'm telling you to do this is because I don't want you to get onto a course and not know how to do this at all. Because again, then you're going to be overwhelmed with information and you're not going to be able to perform the task well, and you're probably going to be that one person that holds the class back. Now, being that person that holds the class back, guys, don't let that be the reason you don't go do a course. Okay, at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know, and you're going on the course to learn. Now, what we just spoke about is basically 50 rounds, right? There are many other things you can do, like drawing and activating your weapon-mounted light, which is very important. I would also say, if you can, have multiple targets. Target transitioning is really awesome, but I know a lot of you guys on shooting ranges don't have the opportunity to have multiple targets. talking about targets, this is how I structure my targets. If I don't have one drawn out, I will literally just draw a circle. This is literally one of the targets I used for that 50 round. Sorry, it's not focusing. Focus on my hand. For that 50 round course of fire, and you'll see, like, I'll make an X where I'm shooting with both hands and a circle where I'm shooting with one hand, because those two things mean different things for me. And as you can see, I do miss. Right, I'm here wanting to learn. This is the target I shot today, 10 by 5 inch target. This is slightly smaller than an A zone, because why not make it slightly smaller? So if you're ever doing to shoot the A zone, then you know you're going to make your targets. But as you can see, there's a couple that went astray here, and it's not the one small ball. You know, it's all over the place. The moment my dot breaks into this zone, I'm breaking the shot. The shooting game, the self-defense game, very often is a race. So you have to marry speed and accuracy, and you've got to find your middle ground. So guys, this is 100% my opinion. If you can do those comfortably, and you're getting a reasonable level of accuracy, like you're able to hit your target, okay, you are ready to go do intermediate courses. You are not an intermediate or advanced level shooter. I consider that still beginner stuff. But you're ready to go and learn on an intermediate level course, to where you're not going to be overwhelmed with information or asked to do something that you've never done before or don't know how to do. There's always going to be little caveats and little things that some people do differently, but that is things that if you can do this, you'll be able to handle. Guys, please remember, everything in this video is an opinion. Nothing is a recommendation. If your instructor feels you should be doing things differently, please follow their lead more than mine. These are only my opinions based on the courses I've done and the more recent courses I've been with Michelle on, where I've seen her shoot what she's been having to do. So please understand and bear that in mind. Guys, remember, end of this month, giving away ×2 Psy Gear plate carriers. End of next month, giving away a fully kitted out Canik MC9 on Patreon. So if you want to get in on that, please consider joining on Patreon. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. We'll catch you guys next week with another video. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.